is being recorded. And yeah, just to make sure that everyone is aware of that. I want to say welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the participants. Happy to see such a great interest in our little demo session here. And I can start by introducing myself. My name is Mikkel, and I work on the RevOps and marketing side of things here at Delogue. And I have the great pleasure of having my lovely co-host Aisha here, who is an account executive. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Do that. Like Mikkel said, I'm Aisha, and I'm an account executive here at Delogue. And my main markets are the DACH and the Benelux market, but the salespeople, they sell everywhere. So we don't focus on that. And I've been with Delogue for almost 2 years now. Exactly.
So, well, what is Delogue? Well, Delogue is a PLM system, and we do that for fashion and lifestyle apparel companies. And we're a software company and catering to fashion and lifestyle companies. And we are founded by fashion and lifestyle professionals. So we are by the professionals for the professionals in this field. But could you maybe take us a bit into what is a PLM?
Of course. Great question as well, because sometimes we forget to answer that in the beginning because we just say PLM. But the PLM in its core is a product lifecycle management software that helps you to collect all your data that is needed for a product from birth till the end, basically. So that's whereas most of lifestyle and fashion industries right now store it in different data silos like Excel, email, PDF, wherever it is, we transfer. PLM combines all of this and makes it a single source of truth. Exactly.
And we like that.
Yes, everyone likes that. It's just offers the brands also to have more transparency within the team, but also with the suppliers that are also connected to our PLM. Like Mikkel said, we were born 2011, and we're based, born and raised in Copenhagen. And it definitely helps that our founders were actually from the industry, because it also reflects on our web and our interface and the usability of Delogue, that there's really a thought behind how the processes are developed in Delogue. So we understand the pain points the fashion industry has, and we cater accordingly exactly to their needs. And as of right now, we work with 280 brands together. These brands can be from workwear to kidswear. And we also do a little bit of soft interior. So we cater to a broader range, but it is definitely in the core just for the fashion and lifestyle industry. Exactly. And oftentimes the question arises, who actually uses Delogue in the everyday life? And this would be everyone who has a thought or design or creativity process in the product that is the end product. This can be product developers, technicians, buyers, designers, of course. All of these people would be combined in one single source of truth, which would be Delogue PLM. Exactly.
And speaking of Delogue PLM, the reason why we're here and hosting this fast show is that a lot of times people are super interested in seeing the platform, getting a sneak peek into it. What is it? What types of functionalities does it have? But maybe they're not completely ready to have a dedicated demo of however long time. So this is a great way for us to show a bit about the platform, but in a very non-committing way where everyone who has some sort of interest in the platform can see it. So please, Aisha, would you take us into the workings of Delogue?
Of course. I will share my screen, and hopefully you can see it all now. Maybe before I dive really deep into the demo, it's important to maybe summarize what kind of pain points we're actually solving with a PLM, because that's always the big question, right? Why do we need a PLM? So from experience of almost 13 years now, and also being all of Delogue some sort of way in the fashion industry, we collected that definitely the biggest point is that there are different data silos. Meaning if you have one product, as we can see here, you have different ways of collecting all the data that is for this product specifically. Like I mentioned before, it can be email, Excel, PDFs, then an email thread from years ago almost that you have to scroll down to just maybe find a tracking number. And with a PLM, that will definitely be eliminated, and you have one silo, so to say, where you can find everything that is in your product development. Then another really big thing is the transparency aspect, because having all these different data silos can definitely form a sort of difficult way to find the information quicker. And it's also not transparent because you can never really see for example, if there's a sample that is wrongly made, there was a mistake, you can't really tell who did the mistake, which part was it. And this is not only to find mistakes, so to say, because that has such a negative aspect, but more to allow all your colleagues and one brand to have a transparent way of working. So everyone can see what you're doing, what has been changed, but also really big part are the suppliers, because sometimes we forget about them. Without them, maybe there wouldn't be a brand. So it's really important to take their everyday into consideration as well, and solve their pain points maybe as well, because oftentimes they get a tech pack that is not really understanding, or you can't really understand it that fast. And Delogue has just a easy way of creating automated tech packs that all look basically the same, so the supplier also knows where to find everything. And
and the great thing about that is also that it works, so the accountability and the transparency works both ways. So it's both in terms of the supplier but also the brand, because historically what we've heard is that a lot of brands have automatically blamed mistakes on the suppliers, but this way it becomes very clear where the mistake was made, and not just to beat someone over the head with it, but actually to find out, so where in the process was this mistake made, and then you can eliminate it in the future and work on it not happening again.
Yeah, improving is a really good point, and also time saving, and at the end of the day also saving. Maybe we can go towards a way where we do less samples, because up-to-date data, that would be great. And then talking about the suppliers as well, it's a big part of the supply chain, and also with a PLM you can already support your, everyone talks about it, the ESG data collection that is needed soon for almost every brand. That can also be a good way to start actually collecting your data in a transparent way, but also to collect your compliance data as well. Exactly. I think that's like the biggest pain points we can think about. So I'm going to go into the platform now. So maybe it's important to mention that Delogue is of course cloud-based, meaning that everyone in the company or the supplier can log into their Delogue as soon as they have a web browser or internet. And with that said, Delogue has, we're standard, meaning this is what you see is what you get in that way, but in a really nice way. But a standard also has a really positive side, because we in Delogue, we really focus on what is happening in the industry right now, and we try to cater to that. So we actually keep on developing, meaning that all of our customers get the same Delogue. When we have an update, you get that, which is obviously super useful in this fast-paced industry, the fashion industry, because everything does change all the time. So having a PLM that can actually cater to that is a great surplus, I would say.
Okay. And we hear a lot from our customers that they really feel like they're part of the family, simply because we have that standard solution. So we don't we're not looking at the bigger clients that we have and say, oh, we just do development for them. We actually develop for every customer that we have, and make sure that everyone is being successful in the platform.
We keep on holding your hand, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. But yeah, this is Delogue. The interface is kept quite simple, which we like. And you have different ways of overviewing Delogue. We have the header here, which tells you that Delogue is divided in different parts. And then we usually on the left side have another overview in that sense. But let's start with the styles area, because this is most probably the part where most of Delogue users spend their time, because this is the product library, so to say. So you will find all your products that your company has in this overview. Then we have the items library. This is basically the same just for all your trims, meaning your buttons, your zippers, your main fabrics, everything you need to develop that product will be stored here in your items library and can be used for different products in the future development. And then I will jump into admin, because the admin part is, so to say, the back end of Delogue, meaning that even though we are standard, of course, brands have different ways of working. Some work with seasons, some doesn't. Some have different names for groups, for samples. All of that can, of course, be adjusted in Delogue. And how it works is that in the beginning, if you decide to work with Delogue, this is the part where our really experienced customer success team, that are all from the industry, really important to mention, would be spent most of the time with you as the brand to set up your data in a really clean way as well, so you don't have mistakes in the future. But everything from licenses, so maybe that's also important to mention. Delogue is a license-based company, meaning that everyone gets their own license in Delogue, and this is quite important because everybody leaves a digital footprint in Delogue. So you can always, again, there comes the transparency part, you can always see who wrote me this at what time, who got notified, and so on. And the same goes for suppliers. I'm going to mention it again because I do not remember if I mentioned that, but suppliers work for free in Delogue, meaning you can invite all your suppliers that you have into Delogue. And this aspect is really important to us because we decided 13 years ago that there is a gap between the brand and the supplier, and we want to solve that gap. We want to eliminate it, and therefore we decided to attach the suppliers for free, and again to give it the transparency so brands maybe don't hesitate to not put another supplier in, and then again the transparency would be lost. So we do it this way. You can invite them, and suppliers love us. We work with over almost 8,000 everyday active suppliers in Delogue. So that's a really good number we have there, and they love us because we make their life, of course, easier.
So chances are that some of you guys as suppliers maybe already be working in Delogue.
Yeah, they love us. They give good referrals. Exactly. But then, like I said, the admin part is where, for example, your color library would be put on together with us, different size ranges, groups, seasons, sample types, and so on. But I'm going to jump back into styles because that is more exciting. It's less technical part. It's more the processes that the brands actually have every day. So like I mentioned, this is where all your products would actually be collected. And then the question always comes, that is so much. We have so many products. How can I maybe set a favorite filter? And of course we have that. In general, you can filter in Delogue for almost everything I showed you in the admin part now. You can set up different brands. For example, if we only want to see women's apparel, you can filter for your suppliers. Let us take all different seasons, groups, categories, so on. And when then we filter it, I get a smaller view. And this you can always set as your favorite. Call it maybe as 25 because you're working on that right now. And then you save it, and then you can, everyone who works in Delogue has their own filters that they can just quickly go into. If you work for more seasons or whatever the case is, you could all collect that up here. And then if you are in one product, let's take this Emma Pants, you can see that we have master data here. So how you can imagine one product is, if you see all these different tabs here, that's basically your tag pack, because Delogue generates the tag pack automatically in the background as you fill in the data. And you can always be sure that it's up-to-date data, because every time you make a change, it's saved, and you can be sure, okay, that's the latest version of my tag pack. Because that's also a big issue, that sometimes you, by accident, because we're humans, that happens, we send the old tag pack, and then there's a wrong sampling process going on. So in that way, we eliminate that. But starting off with the master data, you would give it a brand contact, style name, a style number. This one can also be auto-generated from our end. For example, if you already work with a system of style numbers, we can just keep that moving. And then you give a description. And we have this really important place called state. And there we have different options. A product can be work in progress, it can be delivered, canceled, or published. But as soon as we put it on published, we would connect our supplier with this product. Meaning that this is the part where you actually start the communication with your supplier. You would choose your supplier, you can choose your supplier contact, there can be way more. In the demo page, we have only one here now, but sometimes suppliers, of course, have different contact persons, and then you fill in the rest. And every product is connected to one supplier. And like I mentioned, it opens up the communication. And here we go to the heart of Delogue, as I like to say, which is the communication tab here. This works in many different ways, but I would start with the simple messaging. I told you guys that the email conversation and email threads is a big pain point for our customers. And this is basically how we solve it, because it works just as your inbox as well. So if you want to write a new message, you would click a green button here. And in general, if you see in the log green buttons, it's usually a call to action. You can add something, you can write something. Exactly. Then it works, like I said, like Gmail, you would write a subject. I'm just going to write that now. Also in the log, you can oftentimes keep stuff internal or make it visible for your supplier. But we want to actually notify our supplier now. And then we write, did you see a comment, for example, or whatever the case is. You can always also drag and drop a file, no matter which file, and then you send out the message. And then, like I mentioned, with the licenses, everyone has a digital footprint in the log. You can see who wrote this, what date, what time, and who got notified. And the supplier or your colleagues can just simply reply as a thread on this and send it. And then you will always have your communication thread here. This works internally, of course, with your colleagues, but also externally. And the good thing is you will always communicate for this product and not for any other product, because that can mix things up, right? And we have this communication thread also in our items library. I'm just going to jump there now so you can see the correlates between those two. Works the same way, just that we talk about this button in this case. Then jump back to styles, because the communication part is not only for messages, but actually we keep a whole log of a history for a product. If I scroll down here now, you can see there's a lot happened for Emma Pants. But for example, you can always see who changed what, or basically anything. If you delete a picture, if you add a length value of 0, it will all be tracked here. And this is just a good way that you can be assured that you have the whole product lifecycle in that sense collected underneath the communication. We have the same for price changes. This can be helpful if you maybe want to see with which price did I start with my supplier, where am I now, or what was the price 2 years ago, what was the price for SS24, and so on. But that's just one way how you can see into prices. And then we have the same for the sample process. What happened from the first sample until the last sample. All the changes will be here. But again, also just one way to look into sample changes. I'm going to jump into style files now. And the style files would actually eliminate your Dropbox. Coming again to the pain points, because this is the place where you can upload any sort of file type you want. You can set up different folders, name them however you want, and again, you can make them visible for your supplier or keep them internal. And then over drag and drop, you can upload your files. You can also see that we have an Illustrator file here. That is because also we have an Illustrator plugin, meaning that your designers actually don't even have to leave Illustrator to create a new style in Delogue, which is a great add-on, I would say. And then when I scroll down here, you can see that there's different folders with different pictures. These are actually from the Illustrator. I can see the colorway. That's usually what they push. And then exactly everything that is important for the style, you would just drag and drop here. Then I will jump into the item list. This is your bill of material. It's usually known as the bill of material. We call it items list because it's directly connected to our items library that I showed in the beginning. And this is the place where you pull in the items you created in your items library into your style. Let's say if I click add item, it will show me a shortcut into the item library. So we don't change tabs as well, which is also quite useful. And let's say I want a hang tag and a label. And then I click filter, and then it will show me everything I have in my items library. So let's take a hang tag and a neck label. You will also see some more information for your items here, and then I insert them. Then it will ask me for a placement and a quantity here, just to showcase the correlation between style files and item list. You could write see technical drawing, and then your supplier immediately knows, okay, you uploaded that in the style files area. And the quantity is of course important for your price calculation later. But this is how you can build your bill of material quite easily. You can also always import bill of materials from other styles. It's also, again, just a quicker way of working. If you know that your product has the exact same bill of material or a really similar one, then you could just import that. It will ask you, and we say, okay. And then we have the bill of material added here. Here we also have a more visual way of looking at it because it showcases a bit better the colors you also added from your color library. And you can see pictures for your items that you're actually using as well. We also have a good system with this color coordination here with the red one and the green one. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but we can see here that our cashmere is approved. But at the same time, we can see that we need for light blue and the gray color with the red dots here, we need a lap dip from our supplier. So this is just a way how you can see there's a call to action and then actually write your supplier, please send me a lap dip for this. Then we have the measurement chart. That also works quite easily like the items list. You would begin with selecting a size range that you first build up in your admin part and your grading size. And then you can build your measurement chart from the scratch. But most of our customers actually work with templates here. That is also really smart because if you click import, again, same structure, you can import from different styles that you already have, or you set up in the onboarding phase with us some templates that you can always just put into your style so you don't have to actually do it line by line. And if you do that, then you can still, of course, actively work in your lines and write your changes here. If you hide
super exciting stuff, Aisha. I'm you know the old saying, time flies when you're having fun, and we're actually coming up on just a few minutes left. So I wanted to ask you if you could showcase one thing, your favorite thing right now about Delogue, what would it be?
Yeah, that would be reports for me because I'm from Germany. So we like our overviews and our processes, and reports is a quite crucial area. I'm going to go there now. Where you can basically take big data sets that you already have in Delogue and compare them with each other. Meaning everyone in Delogue can work with their own reports. And this is a super flexible way of just getting process overviews. And again, on the other hand, making quicker business decisions as well. So if I start by filtering here, again, same principle, I want my report to only be about, let's take men's apparel. I took women's apparel before that. And then I save it. And then I already have my structure here that I have this season in. And over columns, you can basically navigate all the data you have in Delogue into your report. Let's say I actually want to have a price overview for this collection. Then I would click the prices. You can always remove some columns that you don't like. I'm just going to check and remove the sample, because it also works for the sample request. And if I then refresh it, I can scroll over here and have my price overview for the whole collection. And this helps to see mistakes maybe faster, because you have it all collected. You can, but also it's an active report, so you can just work in this report as well, and don't have to go through every single product to approve it, the price, if we do it again here. But you can also change numbers here. For example, if I see that was incorrect, it has to be 8 for the supplier cost, because they raised it, then you can see that your landed cost is already calculated. And the best part is you don't have to go back to your product and change it, because it already is changed in that sense. And you can
that's nice. We like to eliminate double work, right?
Exactly. And like I said, this is super flexible. You can move columns. You can always extract your reports as a CSV or an Excel, maybe for the marketing department or the sales department, because they need some numbers. And of course, share it with your colleagues, so you can seamlessly work in one report. I think that's my favorite part about it.
Well, I really like it as well. I'm also super excited about our quite new compliance module. But I think that will have to wait for another day. A bit of a teaser there, and also a great intro into saying, please go to our website and keep an eye out both on LinkedIn, but also on the website about the future webinars that we have. We host these sessions each week at 11 on Wednesdays, so same time, same place. The cast might differ a bit from time to time, and the subject, but we will do it same time, same place every Wednesday at 11. So please tune in, join. But also we have a range of super exciting webinars, both on demand that has happened before, but also upcoming ones. So keep an eye on that. But I want to thank you all for joining, and it's been fun. It was super fast, high paced, but that's what we wanted. So thank you so much for joining, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.